Hello guys, this is Yara and welcome to episode 2 of deck reviews. And this time I'm going to be reviewing a deck that one of my subscribers recommended me. So we're going to be reviewing the first place Germany Extravaganza deck build that he went with. And I'm going to be giving you the card by card and what I think in his choices and what I think were. I was actually lucky enough to grab this deck profile before he deleted his video because first of all, the video was in German, and I managed to get it all on Dueling Book. I couldn't really understand what he was saying, so I was just getting every card by card, but then he ended up deleting it, so that was kind of unfortunate. But the good thing is that I was able to get the deck profile. But as always, guys, don't forget to drop that like and subscribe button. But now, let's get started with the deck review. So, right off the back, he's going with the triple Kowloon. That's normal, right? This helps you set up either Chuche, Qing Long, and on certain scenarios, it might help you set up Xuan Hu because against dinos, it's actually very good to set this up because you just put Tyranno in defense mode during the battle phase and miss King Protector, right? But anyways, I'm getting carried away. But now let's keep going with the deck profile, right? We're running the double Chuche. That's normal. I've seen some decks that run 3, but that's way too bricky. 2 is just perfect, right? Triple Qing Long. I started doing 2 in my build, but after we look at his build, then you're gonna realize why he's going with the triple Qing Long. But if you prefer 2, if you prefer 3, that's all up to you. I think it breaks at 3, but I don't see anything wrong with running 3, right? So it's all up to you, right? So then we're in the one Xuan Hu, of course. A lot of people don't know what this card does, and it actually ends up kicking them in the rear because it switches one of their monsters' battle position during the battle phase if you control another virtual world gate card, right? So yeah, this can catch people by surprise, so you always gotta run it. So, and the special summon effect is mainly why you run it. But then we run in the double Nyan Nyan. This is pretty good because he helps you recur all your resources. It helps you with your Zeus. If you banish your Zeus with your Shen Shen, then you with Nyan Nyan you get Zeus back to your extra deck, and then you can Zeus them again. That's a pretty cool trick right there. But we're running the triple Lily. That's normal. This card's pretty good because it helps you this plus this helps you go into your Zolkin play, so it's very good. Triple Lulu, best card in the deck in my opinion. Have to run triple Lao Lao. I think Lao Lao is honestly at least my favorite, my second favorite card in the deck. First is Lulu, then is Lao Lao, because this can help you special summon up to 3 monsters, right? If you have Nyan Nyan already engraved, or if you send Nyan Nyan to, you can special summon up to 3 monsters. So I always like to use this effect at the end of all my names, right? I start off with the other cards, and I slowly go into this. So I don't want this to get hit by Ash or anything. But then we go with the triple Gigi. I know a lot of people prefer this over Lao Lao, but it's good. It's good as long as you remember the effect to add back a virtual world monster from the graveyard at the end phase. You'll be golden. I've seen a lot of people forget to do that, and that's the main thing of this card, right? How can you forget to add back, right? You want to add back your Lulu, right? So then this is where the deck starts getting spicy, right? This is like I have not seen anybody here in the US do a list like this. So this might be like a German thing that they do. So look, he goes with the triple prosperity. We're not seeing prosperity in the American builds. At least I would say like 70%, 70 to 80% of virtual world deck lists are running prosperity. I mean, desires only. And like 30% are running prosperity, right? But only prosperity. But look at this deck. He's running triple prosperity and triple desires. And you may be asking yourself, doesn't that conflict, right? Well, it does conflict in the fact that you can't really draw the turn you use this. But if we think about it, he's actually going with consistency, right? I mean, these cards are busted. This one just helps you see the whatever you want, basically, right? So in this deck, you can easily banish 6 because you can just recur them back with your Nyan. But uh, this 6 pots tell me one thing. He wants consistency, right? He wants draw power. He wants to see the cards that he really needs, right? And if you draw two, well, you just save the second one for the next turn, right? So it's I have not seen any deck list like this in America. So I want to know what you guys think about this. 6 pots on the main. Do you agree with this? Do you disagree? Please tell me what your opinion is. But all right, and then we're running with the double cyclone. I prefer MST because a lot of people side Lancia against this deck, but I can see why Cyclone is preferred over other decks, mainly because you want to banish stuff like the Schism or the Eldritch Trap cards, right? You don't want to see them again. You kind of want to get rid of them, but it's whatever you think is best. But yeah, double Cyclone is kind of like it's being seen like in almost every deck nowadays, right? At least two, some are running three. So double Dark Ruler no more. We see three here in America. He's running two. Might be because he is almost always gonna see it with Prosperity, right? If he banishes 6 with Prosperity, he's almost 100% of the time gonna see his Dark Ruler no more. So that's why he doesn't want to run three of them, right? And he's running the one emergency teleport. This car is amazing. Then he's running the Gamma package. So okay, look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and every single virtual world monsters. This whole deck is an ash bait, right? This whole deck can be ashed, like literally, like almost like 75% of this deck can be ashed. So it makes sense to run Gamma because you can. I've gone like 4 effects where my opponent could ash me, where my Gamma was still live, right? Like you can just hold the Gamma live for so many effects, and it's mainly there to protect you, right? And you'll be seeing in the extra deck also why he runs this. But yeah, like it's very common to use this on this deck because you have so many ways to bait it out. Like literally, this if they ash this, you use this because this hasn't technically hit the field yet, right? So yeah, this card is very good on this deck, and the triple ash, and yeah, you can't really say anything about ash. Mandatory, right? Hits Red Eyes Fusion. This deck kind of struggles with Red Eyes with Dragoon, so makes sense. And this is gonna get DB Grinder triggered because it's 41 cards, but it's only one more card, right? So it makes sense. I prefer the clean 40, but if you want to do 41, it's not that less consistent, right? But now we're gonna go to the side deck. Triple Nibiru. Again, Nibiru is being seen more now because of stuff like prank kits and virtual world. If you don't do the combo right, you can easily get Nibiru'd, right? The anti Nibiru combo that I showcase in my virtual world deck profile. And yeah, Nibiru is being seen more often, I've noticed. And if Salad starts coming back out, then Nibiru is for sure gonna be either seen on their main or on the side, right? So Panker Tops, 100% of the decks run this. Card is busted, right? Lightning Storms, double Lightning Storms, Harpy's Feather Duster, Red Reboot, FTK against Trap decks. The third copy of Dark Ruler no more. See, I guess that makes sense why he's running double right here, because if you're going up against a Trap deck, you really don't want 3 of these in your main deck. But if you're going against Dragon Link, you're deciding the third copy, right? Then he's running the Anti-Spell Fragrance and the 1 Order. I've always said this. This is Order at 3. So he's running basically 4 copies of... Oh no, this thing timed out. Let's get back to it. I forgot that Dueling Book has that weird thing where you like, if you put it on full screen mode, it thinks that you're not using it. So we're gonna go to yeah, so I've always said this, but this plus this, that's 4 copies of Imperial Order. They basically do the same thing. So cards busted, right? We're seeing it more like we're seeing it almost 100% of the side decks if you're playing combo. This card is amazing. It checks Lightning Storm, Dark Ruler no more, Harpy's Feather Duster. It checks so many things. That's why almost Twin Twisters, MSTs, and Cyclones are necessary too, in case somebody wants to flip this on you. You chain to it. Alright, and so Called by the Grave also. I've seen it like nearly 80% of deck profiles nowadays. It checks prank hits because you just either call by the doo or the bow wow, and yeah, like if you know you're going first, you side this in and it's pretty good. And sometimes going second, like against Dragon Link, you want to call by the seals. It's even solid going second, so his card is pretty good. And the third copy of Cosmic Cyclone in case you need it. So alright, and now let's go to our extra deck. And the extra deck is where it gets spicy. So I've played this deck probably like around 15 times, like this version of it, and I gotta say I like it. I played it on Dueling Book on high rated. So alright, and so Shen, best card in your extra deck. This is even better than Clearwing. So if you have to choose between one or the other, you have to go for Shen. I think it's even better than Dragoon, honestly. If you have a Shen backed by Chuche, it's like basically FTK against like 90% of decks nowadays. I'm being honest. But then we have Kaliga. It's cool how he goes with the Kaliga instead of Dragoon, and I guess this checks more decks because Dragoon, I've said it once and I've said it again, it's not that hard to out. It really isn't, right? So this card is pretty good, and you always want to summon it in defense mode since it has 1,000 attacks. So, and you don't want it to die by lightning storm, so always summon it in defense mode. Then we're going with our Clear Wing, of course, and Omega. I don't see this much in American builds. I would say like the vast majority of virtual world players don't run this, right? But even if they run Gamma, they don't run this. But it makes sense. His whole deck is Ash baits. He wants his opponent to Ash them so he can use Gamma, and then he summons this. So now they're out of 2 cards. So that means they have 3 cards left in their hand. So have fun playing that game, right? So, and this can also help you like recur resources from your banish zone or from your graveyard. So card's pretty decent also. And then we're running the Zolkin, of course, the Vermilion. A lot of people don't know this, but you can pop yourself so that you can recur like a Lulu that's banished. So it's a cool trick that you can do. Lulu is a must in your hand, so if you really need Lulu in your hand, make this, pop itself, grab the Lulu from the banish zone. Alright, then he's running the Juju. This card's pretty good as well. Some decks just simply can't out it. I've won some games simply because they cannot out it. It's pretty funny, honestly. The Stardust Charge Warrior, which is an honorable virtual world card. So easy to make, an extra draw. You have to have them. Utopia Beyond. This is being seen in almost every single American deck as well. This card is an out to Dragoon because it negates. It lowers the attack of all monsters on the field to 0. All your opponent's monsters to 0. So then we run the Gaia Thunder, so you can overlay for more Zeus materials. The Fan, this is pretty good because it banishes a card from the graveyard, so you can do one of your graveyard as well. And let me see. And it banishes a card. So if you really need to banish a card that's being really annoying to you, then just make this pretty easily. Then the Fortune Tune. I've won countless games against like Invoke Shaddoll with this card because even if they have a punishment face down, they cannot out this. So then you go into Zeus and then you just wipe their board, right? So it's pretty funny when that happens. Zeus, like I said, you banish it with Shen to special summon it from grave. Then you recur back with your Nyan Nyan, and then you can Zeus them again, right? So you only need the 1 copy. and the second best XYZ in the deck, which is M7. Some might say this is the best XYZ in the deck, even better than Zeus, but I would say they're about tied, because with this you can recur an Ashe or a Lulu or any name that you want, and there's some cool builds with this deck where I think I'm gonna make a video about this in the future too, like all your targets, because Beatrice plus this, it means you can have whatever card in your hand that you want, right? In case you're going up against, let's say for example, if you're going up against Drytrons, then you send a Droll to the graveyard, and then you grab it back with your M7, and they can't play, right? So yeah, overall, I would say what I think of this deck is his main win condition, believe it or not, is Gamma. I know I may sound crazy, but yeah, like this is an Ashe. His whole deck is Ashe bait. It wants to bait the opponent into using either an Ashe or a Droll. Then he gammas them, and then he leaves them with so little resources, right? Not just that, but then you can go into your usual plays like making Zolkin, Crystal Wing, Shen Shen, Kaliga, and all that stuff, and Chuche. So yeah, I like this deck overall. I mean, I just want to know what you guys think of the 6 pots. Leave it down in the comments below. Do you think that's overkill, like 3 prosperities and 3 desires? I don't know. That's why I want to know what your opinion is. I think that it is unorthodox. I would personally go with 3 prosperities and 2 desires, or just 3 prosperities or just 3 desires. But what do you think? I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. But as always, this was Yara here, and I will see you next time. Enjoy.